Can you guys hear me? Great. Oh, good. That works. So I'm glad to be here. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about soccer. You might not expect that. Something near and dear to my heart. My daughter actually plays on her high school soccer team. They're actually just rated second best team in the country, which is actually a really big deal. Texas, obviously, a soccer hotbed. And the context, you guys might remember make sure I can find this. Women's World Cup a couple years ago, United States was against Brazil. Probably one of the most exciting soccer games I've ever seen. They tied the game in regulation. They went into extra time. They went down 2-1, and then as time was running out, this happened.
And it will go down as the USA's worst performance ever in the Women's World Cup. Christiane can buy some time down by the corner here. Eat away vital seconds. Now USA have it. And they've just got to get everybody forward now. No sense defending anymore. Lloyd's got to get this pass off to Rapinoe, and everybody's got to bomb forward now. Rapinoe gets a crossing. It's towards Wombat. Oh, can you believe this? Abby Wombat has saved the USA's life in this World Cup.
And they ended up winning in penalty kicks. Great score. I still get chills when I see that. I've seen that 100 times. At the end of the day, Abby Wambach had a great athletic move to put the ball in the back of the net. But was she really the only hero in scoring that goal at the last second? Well, and we talked about this earlier today. It was brought up. I mean, common sense says, no, that's not the case, right? There were a lot of events that happened that led to that ball going in the back of the net that allowed the USA to score. Matter of fact, there were 4 specific touch points that led to that goal being scored. But how do you figure out how much credit to apply to that? Well, I could give 100% of it to Abby. That's probably not right. Could evenly spread it out. That's probably not right either, because that cross that Rapinoe put in was about as good a cross as you could do. I could give a little bit more to the introducer, a little bit more to the closer, spread everything out in between. The reality is that this analysis is kind of silly to do, but again, there were 5 goals scored in this game, 4 goals scored in this game, plus all the penalty kicks. It's pretty easy to realize what specifically happened. You can kind of common sense say, what deserved credit or what didn't. But it's pretty analogous to what happens in the marketing space. So here you have an insurance company. It's doing a lot of marketing. The one benefit we get when we're looking at a marketer is you have a massive amount of data to work from. So in this specific sequence, if it converts, how do we figure out how much credit to apply? It's the same challenge. Would you give all the credit to the last of the Abby Wambach of this situation, or would you figure out how to spread that out to more accurately reflect what's really driving conversion from your marketing activities? And so this is really kind of gets to the analysis that we do and why we think attribution is so important. So you start with this very specific sequence. And really when we start engaging with the client, this is the first step of the process, which is first and foremost gathering all the granular raw data. We then sort all that data by all the specific sequences, conversion sequences that we see in the data. So we'll find all the examples of this very specific conversion rate, this very specific conversion sequence. And let's say that this sequence converts at a 10% rate. In other words, these 4 specific ads seen by a number of different users, 10% of them convert, actually start an insurance quote process, let's say. How we figure out how to apply that credit? Well, we'll go back through the data and we'll find that sequence where one of those elements is missing. Let's say that first element, the email. And we'll calculate a conversion rate for that sequence. And in this case, this hypothetical example, there was very little change in the conversion rate. So what's that tell you? It tells you that that last ad unit, that first ad unit, really doesn't deserve any credit. It's not budging the needle. Again, remember that we have a lot of data to play with. We're essentially doing a massive number of lift analyses to figure out how to allocate this credit. Now we can go back through and find all the examples where that second display ad, and this, again, mythical example, isn't present, but the other 3 are. And in that case, the conversion rate is 6%. And so therefore, that's having a large impact on conversion, and that tells us how much credit to allocate. And so that example, doing that across all the different permutations in the data we see, across all the different media channels we're tracking data, is how we go through and calculate and accurately allocate credit versus using last event. It's the difference between using a data-driven methodology versus using predetermined rules or expert rules at the beginning of your marketing efforts to kind of guesstimate what's driving results. Last event attribution, which many people have talked about here today, is an expert rule. It's a predetermined rule where we decide ahead of time to give 100% of the credit to the last event. This methodology allows you to very accurately figure that out. Now, how do we then leverage that data? Well, each of these ad units has a number of different elements that hang off of it. What creative was served, what site it was served on, what channel it was in, what time of day, all sorts of data. We're able to roll all that data up and now provide results back to the marketer that allow us to show them precisely what's driving performance in the same format that they're used to reporting on. So we can roll the data up into the same campaign structure that the client's looking at so that they can see exactly what's happening. And the result is when you calculate and use an attribution service, you're able to calculate much more accurately what's really driving performance. You generate smarter metrics drive much better decisions. So that just tries to provide a little bit better kind of tangible example about how attribution works, why it's important, why it can drive better results. It goes back to my experience. I've been a direct response marketer since before there was an internet. And over the last 10, 15 years, I've been intimately involved in the internet space. And what we have in the digital space is we have all this data. We've just been using ineffective, outdated metrics to drive that performance. So leveraging better metrics, more accurate metrics, allows us to make, as marketers, to make better decisions. So I want to finish by just providing a case study. So one of our clients is Ideally. I don't know if folks are familiar with him. They're actually based with them. They're based here in New York. They're essentially a flash retail site. So they take advantage of overages in certain fashion-based products and sell those to their members at deep prices. They're a little bit of a unique e-commerce retailer in that they never know what's going to be on their site any one day. Every day their site changes based on what's on sale. And their marketing efforts are therefore rather unique, which is they have to use a lot of marketing activity to generate a lot of members that they then can promote what's on sale today versus always selling the same thing and therefore being able to use search marketing. It means they tend to have to use display and social and email marketing pretty extensively. And there's not really a lot of search marketing they can do because they can't get the search ads out there fast enough to take advantage of the opportunity. So they're really faced with unique challenges. There are specific goals, two main goals that they have. First and foremost, they want to drive an increased number of new member signups. And once they have those signups, they really want to drive a high number of repeat purchasers. They can't market to members unless they get the members. And once they have the members, they need to get them back. Some of their challenges were just last event, last view measurement results. They just couldn't trust them at all. It really wasn't working for them, and they really wanted something better. And you add to that the complexity, velocity, frequency of the engagement. I mean, they're sending out emails every day about all the different items that are on sale. Makes it really difficult to measure media performance on purchases. So that's why they came to us to help them solve that problem. And so here's some of the results. So, or first just talk about implementation. So first we utilized, and we see this with clients, how do you actually get all this raw data? So we can use the existing data if the client's already capturing it, but a lot of times we bring our own ad tag and page tag data collection infrastructure to be able to do that. And for Ideally, that's what we did. Our ad tag inserted into the ad server, so every time an ad's fired, it allows us to pick up all of the impression-based data. That ad tag's also certified on Facebook, so now we can pick up all impression-based media on Facebook for premium ads and marketplace ads. We were tracking a number of different digital channels, so display, Facebook, as I talked about, SEM and SEO, and email. And then the timing, and this is an advantage that a lot of our clients really like, which is how fast we're able to get up and running. So we started data collection in April of 2012. We delivered first reports and insights to the client in May. They started making changes and seeing results in June. So very quick turnaround and ability to use this insight to improve their marketing results. So how did it do? So on a new member sign-up standpoint, a couple of key findings. First, they found And again, because of our ad tag solution, one other added benefit we're able to provide is we've integrated full ad viewability as part of our platform. So the ability to see if your display ads are actually being seen and engaged with by the user is a component. And our client ideally found over 50% of their ads were appearing below the fold, and 30% of them were never seen by clients. They saw significant differences in their reporting. In other words, the sites and parts of their media that were actually driving conversion versus what they thought with the last event were very different. And the results of that, and this is actually a really interesting result, they really looked, so first and foremost, they could reallocate spend, move it from sub-performing units and placements and channels and move more of it to the things that were working better. They eliminated inefficient placements. They then were able, through those processes, to actually drop, in the matter of 3 months, their CPA for new member signups by 15%. They actually then used that money to reinvest in their purchase activities. Because again, getting members is essentially just getting an email address so that they can do follow-up email marketing to get those folks to come back. And you can see even in August, they were able to actually get a lift. Their goal was to kind of keep their new member signups at a certain consistent level, and they were able to actually increase that. So drop their CPA by 15% while reallocating money, keeping their member signups at the same rate, even increasing them a little bit, and reinvesting that money in repeat purchase marketing activities. So let's look at what happened from a repeat purchasing standpoint. So another couple of key findings. First, last click, last view measurement completely fails in helping them manage this kind of performance. As a matter of fact, before they worked with us, they had no idea, nor did they even track how their display activities were driving people to actually convert or buy things on their site. They were strictly looking at their email activity as the sole driver of what drove response. And we showed them that they were missing quite a bit of the conversion credit. In other words, a lot of their display activities inadvertently were showing up in front of users, and that was driving those users to actually purchase. And so that helped them uncover new marketing channels, campaigns, and ideas that they had never thought of, because now they had the confidence in the data to know that this worked. They were then, that really became the foundation that allowed them to start investing those incremental dollars in this repeat purchase marketing activity. The result is they saw their repeat purchases over the span of 3 months increase by 30%. And overall, their total marketing budget stayed flat. So they were able to maintain, slightly increase their new member signups, and pretty significantly enhance and drive repeat purchase activity pretty significantly. And I think what's obviously a lot of details here as far as how the tactics they used with this insight to drive the results, but the impact of this is it had real world measurable impact and results on the client's business. It gave them a foundation that's allowed them now to expand their marketing efforts and really change their strategies about how they think about their business, because they have this foundation of more accurate results that they can now rely on. A couple of other things though, that our service is really more than just a platform. Attribution is a complicated task, and for a lot of our clients, the results are so different from last event. Even though they know last event attribution is so inaccurate, it takes them a while to kind of ease into it. And so we provide a very thick layer of client services support to all of our client engagements, part of our solution that we offer to customers, whether that's sold directly to an advertiser or through an advertiser's agency. We're working mainly with the agency. That's first and foremost when the dedicated account team, typically basically ex-agency digital marketing experts, are really the point person. Every client has an executive sponsor, someone like myself, or on the executive team that works with them. And then I think this is the most important thing, which is there are really two aspects to our intellectual property that allows us to do attribution well. One is our research team, our team of PhD machine learning, data mining experts. They're the folks that build all of our algorithms and approaches and how we allocate credit. And then we have our developers that take all that code and code it into a platform that allows us to process this kind of volume at scale. We're processing about 20, 30 billion data points a month on behalf of our clients right now. So it's a massive big data processing exercise, as you can imagine. And so you need to have both aspects of that. One thing that really helps our clients is we actually assign a member of our research team, those PhD machine learning, data mining experts, as a part of the team to every client engagement. That's because every client has custom reporting or unique issues or questions that they need answered. And having our research team there to be able to answer those questions, look in the data to get that answer for the client is really, really valuable. And that ties in with our reporting labs, which is the team that actually just turns that into either UI or reporting spreadsheets or whatever it is to help the client get that data. Also, as CEO of a startup, it actually helps us too. The hardest thing in a technology company is getting the people actually building your product close to customers. By having our research team work so closely with our clients, it gives them firsthand feedback on the challenges marketers are facing, and it helps them build just overall much better products. So it's a real symbiotic benefit to us too. But obviously the benefit for the client is real close coordination, and then they can really ensure that we help ease them through the change management aspect of some of these very big companies to start leveraging a multi-touch cross-channel attribution methodology in their marketing activities versus 15 years of history and lineage they've had using Last Event. And then just to finish up, just to focus on a few key advantages that we think makes adometry unique. So when you're looking for an attribution solution or thinking about attribution, you really need to understand or feel comfortable with the science, the methodology that's used, and how you allocate credit. There's a lot of bad math out there, and you want to make sure that you're using someone that's really thought through the process and has a lot of insights and capabilities that can really prove out that the way that they're allocating credit is most effective. And we think our advantage in the marketplace is a significant advantage for us, which is superior science. We think the way that we do attribution provides the most accurate results. Better accuracy means better results for marketing clients. We also have a separate optimization layer that allows us to push down to the placement level, down to the keyword level, specific optimization recommendations so the agency or the advertiser can streamline that optimization process. We've actually integrated that optimization capability with a number of the RTB platforms so we can push our attribution insights directly into DSP platforms like MediaMath, Turn, Invite Media, Ad.com, Videology. We also have the ability to push into various search bid management platforms like Kenshu Marin or even custom SEM platforms. The benefit of that is we take these actionable insights and we make them very scalable by allowing those platforms to now do bid management on your behalf, leveraging our fractional attribution insights versus Last Event. So real focus on superior technology and science to drive that. It really is a complete solution. We've incorporated a lot of the best aspects of ad verification, mainly ad viewability and geolocation, as part of our solution. We do have the ability to append audience insights. We have relationships with a number of audience vendors, Nielsen, Acxiom, Targus, Datalogix, others, where we can append third-party data so you can see not just how your campaign's specifically performing, but what demographic segments are actually driving those conversions. And then I talked about the integration with bid platforms. Ease of onboarding, so again, quicker to market. We're very flexible. We have our own tag-based implementation we can help clients with, or if the client's already has all their data normalized through log files, we can use that data. Allows us to get up and running very quickly. And then add the end-to-end responsive client services just to ensure that clients get the most out of our solution. So that's it. I really thank you for your time. I don't know if we have any time left. Happy to answer questions if there are, but really appreciate your time. Hopefully that helped.
I think we're pretty tight on time. Ken, do we have any? No. I think we're out of time.
Okay.
Paul, are you going to be around? You have a colleague that's here as well.
Yeah, we do. Londa is in the back.
Can you stand up just to show everybody where you are, just in case? Yep. Sorry. There you go. So grab Paul or Wanda, and thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Big
Thanks,
hand.
guys.
Thanks, Paul.